What's up, guys? It's Thomas again from CTJ here, bringing up a deck profile from one of the players that actually plays with our locals around. He is actually bringing Meta Cooler to the table to see what he's been playing. He's been doing really, really well, and let's see what it entails. All right, go ahead and take it away whenever you're ready.
So I wouldn't say really well. The deck is extremely straightforward. We're actually playing with the reboot leader from set 9. So the original Meta Cooler was from set 2. And it kind of did the same thing on the front that this one does, but the back side definitely has a whole lot more text to it. So the front side of this Meta Cooler, the auto just says at the beginning of the game, take a big Gete Star from your deck, so this big spaghetti star, place it down on your field, and it starts there before you even draw your 6 cards at the beginning of the game. And that's pretty much it. So there's no draw power, there's nothing for it. But the cool thing about the reboot is that to awaken, you don't need any kind of specific life total. You just have to have 2 or more Frieza Clan cards in play. And you'll see that our entire deck is basically Frieza Clan, and we can awaken essentially turn 2 every single game. It's fantastic. And when you awaken, you draw 2, flip your leader over, and bam, big text. So the backside here, really looking cool with the silver foiling. When you swing with your leader card, so you turn it to the left or right, depending on which one you fancy. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you place them in your drop, up to 3. And that's important because you don't always have to mill yourself. So you place up to 3 in your drop area, then choose one Meta Cooler or Meta Cooler Clan card in your drop and add it to your hand. So you mill 3, you take one of the coolers, you put it in your hand. Really good, lets us cycle our hand out and also thin our deck. And then it also lets us add back important pieces that we may need in the future. Its first activate main says once per turn, if you have 2 or more Frieza Clan cards in play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and it can't be switched to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase. So you can switch a card to rest mode, or you can choose a card that's already switched to rest mode and it can't restand during the next charge phase. This is extremely good because it allows you to kind of negate what your opponent's doing. You can stop a big attacker from swinging the following turn. You can take a little guy, a little 1K that you just really don't like a Son Goku Adventure Begins. Put it in rest mode and then just swing at it and take it out. Your opponent, either they can combo out or you just remove an important piece that they may think they need. The second activate battle, it's activate battle, not activate main. It says once per turn, choose up to one of your Meta Cooler cards in your battle area, and it gets +5 for the turn. So you can't choose the leader card, but you can choose any of your Meta Cooler cards when they're swinging, or even ones that aren't swinging, and they get +5 for the turn. So this can be good for sequencing because you can swing with your leader, but you kind of want to keep out a battle card. You don't even have to swing with your leader card. You can swing with a battle card and give it +5. So, and that does not have a requirement for having a specific amount of Meta Coolers in play. So I talked about this card right at the beginning. Your leader actually plays this out in the field, so you start with 1. I'm actually playing 2, just in case something happens and the first one ends up going away. So this card is very important. It says for 1 energy, tap it, put it in rest mode, so you can only use it once per turn, and mill the top card of your deck. Then search your discard for a infinite multiplication Meta Cooler and play it out. So for 1 energy, you can potentially play out a 2-drop 15k vanilla card. Really good, and there's ways to make sure that this happens, like on your first turn. Even if you're not going first, you can combo it into your drop. And then, so you don't take a life because your opponent swung with a 10k, and you combo it, and then your next turn you just tap 1, discard the top card, and play out the one you just comboed because it's already in your drop. So big Gete Star is like our main engine to start the game, to start putting 15Ks on board. So again, we're playing 2 of those. Stand our leader here. Then we have 3, Malevolent Revenge. So you know how I said you can only play Big Gete Star once per turn? This card says give your leader a 15k boost, and then reactivate one of your big Gete Stars. So put it back in active mode, and then untap a yellow energy as well. So if you already use your big Gete Star for the turn, you can use this, give your leader 15k on the attack, and then also untap and reuse your big Gete Star again to put another cooler on board. And that's really a quick way to get 2 on board and awaken your leader. So we're playing 3 of those. They can also be used defensively for the 15k boost. Mostly I use them offensively to keep board pressure, but yeah, both ways are good. Then we have 4 infinite whatever meta cooler, the big 7-drop. So this guy you want to either have in your hand or in your deck. Most of the time you want it in your deck because the way we're playing it out makes it so that we don't want to lose hand advantage. And the card that lets us play it out lets us search it from our deck. So hopefully you have it in your deck. When I originally played this deck with the old leader, you would always want it in your deck. Whenever you saw it in your hand, you were like, "Blah, I'm going to charge it," because it's useless in your hand. But now there's ways to play it out of your hand also, so it's not that bad. This card, when it comes into play, if there is a big Gete Star underneath it. So when you play this card, if there's a big Gete Star underneath it, you get to play out 2 meta coolers from your drop for free as soon as it's played. So there's a couple that I'll get to that we end up playing with this ability, but essentially it lets you play this 25k, 1 swing body on board, and then also play 2 more attackers. Really good. Then the second part of this ability, when it swings, it gets to play 2 more meta coolers on board. So you're swarming the board off of this 1 card, playing out 4 more battle cards. And I'll show you how in a little bit, but those 4 battle cards can easily become 5, 6, possibly 7 battle cards. It's insane when this 1 card hits the board, how the game is just like over, unless your opponent plays something that prevents you from attacking the rest of the turn. You know, there's no cards like that in the format. So we're playing 4 of those because you don't really want to see them, you want them to be in your deck. And that's kind of like our big game finisher. The next card we're playing 4 of is Avenging Core Meta Cooler. So this is a 5-drop. We want this card in our discard. So when we mill with our leader ability, we want to see this card go into our drop. We never want to hard cast it, and we actually don't want to evolve off it either. So it has the ability for 4 energy to evolve off of a cooler, and we never want to use that. So with this guy, we swing, we play from our drop at least 1 of these guys, because they are a 20k body, and their ability says that all 2-drop infinite multiplication coolers gain double strike. So all of your 15 single swings turn into 15k double swings, and that is a heck of a lot more threatening to your opponent. So we just need 1 of those on board, and it works for the rest of the squad. Playing 4 of those, hopefully we mill them. If not, they're kind of dead combo cards in our hand because we never really want to tap energy to combo. But if we have to, you can set up your turns to do that. Next card we're playing, 4 of the expansion cooler. So it's a 1-drop. You play it for 1, you draw a card, and also when you play it, you get to draw a card, but also if there's a big Gete Star in your drop area, you get to play it out for free. So you play this out for 1, there goes your big Gete Star if for some reason it wasn't on board, and then you can activate big Gete Star and put out another cooler. This guy also has 2 pretty cool abilities. So the first one, they're both activate mains. You pay 2 energy. You place this card in its drop area, and for the duration of the turn, your leader can activate its Awaken skill if you have 5 or more life. This card was made before the reboot leader, before the if you have 2 in play, you can Awaken. So at the beginning, this card was good. Now it's just like, I don't need to use that ever. The second is you may choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your drop area. If you do, choose 2 infinite multiplication meta coolers in your drop area and play them. So you can pay 2 energy, and it's just as good as a big Gete Star, but you don't have to mill. Play 2 coolers out from your drop. That's 2 15k bodies on board for 2 energy. And all you have to do is have this guy in the field. He's also a 5k combo, so he's like always live combo power. Next, we are getting into a little red. This is not just a yellow deck. So we're playing 3 intensifying power trunks. I have never actually played this card out in the field. I have always just charged it. It is a 5k charge or combo power, and we only ever need 1 red energy in our energy. So just seeing it, I'm like, okay, that's a safe 1-time charge. Or if I ever really have to play it, if I think critting my opponent is super important, I can use it for crit. So we're playing 3 of those. The next red card we're playing is 3 Metacooler Metallic Genesis. So this guy's actually really cool because when you play him out, you swing with him, and he lets you go in your drop and play out in Infinite Multiplication Cooler. So that's another way to add another cooler on board. So when you play out your big 7-drop guy, you can play out one of these. And that's just another way to add more coolers on board during your swings. So we play 3 of those, and sometimes you can hard cast it just to keep bodies on board. And this is actually the main card that makes the deck function, that gives it the big turn 4 presence. So turn 4, you need 1 red energy, and then 3 of whatever else, preferably yellow, and you play this guy out. This guy's activate main says take a big Gete Star and put it underneath him. So you take your big Gete Star and play, slide it underneath, search your deck or your hand for a 7-drop, play it on top. So you're basically evolving into the 7-drop off of the 4. Now the problem with this whole strategy, and why the deck is so easily beat, is because all your opponent has to do is counterplay the 4-drop. If you tap out on turn 4, you're probably going to lose on turn 4. And that's why this deck is really hit or miss. Either you win or you lose because your opponent played smart and waited for your turn 4. So there's 4 of these guys in deck. This is your main card to win the game. And remember, all these cards are Metacoolers or Metacooler cores, and when you mill them with your leader, or don't mill them and they're just in your drop, you can use your leader ability and put it right back in your hand. So like if you were to tap out turn 4 for this card, and you didn't win the game, and your opponent doesn't win the game either, on your turn 5, you can swing with your leader, get this card back, and do it all over again. And the only thing stopping you is a big Gete Star in play. So, the final piece of, not the final, but one of the most important, the thing you guys all care about so much is Infinite Multiplication Metacoolers. So I don't actually know how many I'm playing, so give me a second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 15 Metacoolers in the deck, and I have never had an issue drawing into them, or milling them, or however you want to go about it. So 15 of these guys, they are what make the deck function. They are what put all the pressure on your opponent. 15k swing over and over and over, and your opponent just gets super annoyed with it. So there you go, 15. You can play more, you can play less, it's up to you. Play the deck, see how you feel. This card, there are 2 of them in here. They're probably going to get cut because they're kind of useless. So Metacooler Core used to be how the original Metacooler functioned. You had to have this card out and then tap 4 energy to Union Absorb your big Gete Star and go into the big 7-drop from your deck. So I don't know why I still have it in here, maybe just nostalgia of how I used to play the deck. It's kind of bad. I don't recommend it. But hey, it's also 5k combo power in my hand. And then the last card, last 4, are Dodoria. Dodoria is a set 1 super combo that just lets me draw a card. So that's kind of how the deck functions, how it works. Remember, if you don't win turn 4, you lose turn 4. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Alrighty, there you go, guys. There is the cooler deck profile you guys are looking for. This is Thomas again on the CTG channel. Like, subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.